Now then guys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here and welcome back to another episode of the RTG. Now, first of all, before we get into this, you will notice that not as many episodes have been going out. I'm having some struggles, to be honest with you boys, at the moment with the old tonsils. And I'm ongoing with the doctors. They don't quite know what's up. I had one course of antibiotics already and it hasn't relieved the problem. So while that's going on, some days I wake up and they're absolutely fine and I feel cushy to sit down and record one of these videos. And then other times I wake up and they're swollen and I can't sit down and record anything. So that's kind of the situation at the moment. So the videos are a little bit more few and far between. I'm going to try and record as many as possible and hopefully it'll be all cleared up and sorted as quickly as possible so that we can crack on with this RTG. But today, we're going to have to change the formation, lads. If you didn't see the last episode, go back and watch it as well. If you're new around here, slap the subscribe button. But we got some injuries to our left back. And there's no way I can play Luke Bolton at left back. And someone has recommended free at the back. We've used it quite a bit recently, and I am fond of it. So we're going to go free at the back in today's episode, and hopefully it'll work well for us. Now, we've got a plethora of games to play. We're not going to play the FA Cup game because, to be quite honest with you, I don't care about the cups. The important thing this season is promotion. The cups don't matter as much. We're in November now, hopefully heading into December, and then we've got a January transfer window. We don't have much money, but of course, your suggestions are always welcome and always wanted, and I will continue to scout the players that you guys suggest as time goes on, and we'll just fill that transfer shortlist as big as humanly possible, and then we can use some of those players as the years go on. Let's go about here working free at the back, because, you know, it's dire needs in it when you've only got one left back. So I'm just going to put free, because I don't really care the name of the team sheet, but we're going to go free at the back for this one, and hopefully we'll have success. We've had success every time we've used it before. It's just figuring out which one suits the team better, and striker-wise, none, realistically. I think this would actually suit the team better because, no, I want McKelney at cam, don't I? So this is probably going to be the strat. We're going to go with this one. We're going to probably tweak it to kind of how I like to play. I don't want to be too deep. I want to be direct and fast. We want to just get that ball forward as quick as possible and create the chances before the opposition are able to get players back, basically. Now, the plus side here is we're probably going to have to play Asante up top, but Bolton can easily play right mid, so it means that he doesn't lose game time by us swapping formation, which is the big thing, right? We don't want to lose some of our key players' game time. By the way, Asante now 67 rated. How long can we keep hold of him? Might end up becoming one of the questions. How long can we keep hold of Thomas Asante? Wouldn't be the start of an episode without a monthly scout report. And again, I mean, we're going to get this a lot. We're going to get a lot of duds. That's what I'm, you know, firmly expecting us to get a lot of players like this. Now, Dexter Scott might be okay, so I'm going to sign him. Sometimes it's worth taking the punt, picking up that player, and then finding out, I guess, once we've used him a bit in the academy and trained him, how good he is. So the cup game first against Forest Green Rovers, who we played in the last episode. They are top of the league at the moment. At the end of the day, don't really care about the result. If we get knocked out of the FA Cup, we get knocked out of the FA Cup. There's going to be plenty of time. It doesn't matter, we won, but there's going to be plenty of time in this competition for us to do stuff. Now, if we do go far and we get a big team draw, we probably will play that game just, you know, to get in a match against a big team. But at this stage, it feels like there is no need in these kind of cup competitions for us to put our focus there. To be honest with you, the amount of cup competitions we're having are going to start hindering us in the league as we take on Hartlepool here only 2 days later. This is a competition I wouldn't have minded doing well in, but at the end of the day, I want everybody fit for the Scunthorpe game in the league. That's the most important match, and we still pick up the victory. The sim's been really nice to me recently. I wonder how long that's going to last. Who knows? But we get a little bit of joy with the sim at the moment. I've got no complaints, but as you see there 2 days later, so the schedule here at the moment is ridiculous. Now, I do see a player returning from injury. It will be Kevin, the left back, who isn't very good. He's, what, 56, 58 rated. You know, Toure being back is probably the big one. Scunthorpe now 19th in the league. I think we're going to play it to kick off the episode. What are the other games that we could play in the league? I think we'll play Scunthorpe. We'll definitely play Harrogate because it's local to me, a team we nearly did. And then I can just flick and choose between the other two which one we play. We got then the squad to take on 19th place Scunthorpe. Should be beating these. But again, in the last episode, we played a down and out Colchester. They beat us 3-0, so who knows what's going to happen, but hopefully this new tactic works really well for us. Three at the back has worked well in the past. Now, when we get our left back in the team, we will go back to the formation we was using, but this is good to have in our locker knowing that we can play this. Now, in this one, I need to try my best not to get too aggressively hyper when we score goals, which is very difficult for me. That's what makes these videos difficult to record, because obviously when I'm straining my voice, it hurts a lot more. So hopefully, I won't get too giddy, but I can't make any promises as we are a little bit under the cosh here very, very early on. And I'm always nervous when we try a different formation out, just how well it's going to go. I really am, but so far, we're getting the bodies forward. Now, this man's had a really good start to the season, but he's over-dribbled it there. Elliot List has been brilliant so far. Hopefully, we'll go down in club folklore if he carries on playing the way he has been. He's going to end up being one of the better players that we use, especially in these early seasons. Well, a goal scorer in these early seasons, and you need one. Oh, we get a little bit lucky there. Unfortunately, swapped to Vassell, and not, I think it's Lund or Rowe there in the centre, because the rest of the centre-backs are tired. And Hallam, he'll have his shot saved by King. Scunthorpe can do from the corner, and it's not right lot, is it? It's not a right lot. Ashley Hunter now has got a bit of pace. He doesn't have that much pace, so he's been caught up. Although the ball in behind here feels like it's on. It was on. McAlnay waits and then pulls it across. Elliot List can't get to it. That was so close. It was such a nice ball. Over as well. It was well weighted. I thought that was going to be 1-0. This is where we can come undone a little bit, is I need the midfielders to make sure they're putting in all the effort in the world to get back. They didn't there in that situation, did they? Oh, what a turn that is. That's a brilliant save from King, but what a turn from the Scunthorpe striker. I think it's Nuttall. We have to try and break the lines, which is the most difficult thing for me at the moment. Elliot List is going to ping that one out wide. That's lovely to Bolton. Now, Bolton's got a really good delivery on him. We know that already. He's going to be fouled there. That will be a free kick. Can't say we've been good so far, if I'm being honest with you, which is a shame. Like, I can't. We haven't been good so far. Playing their way into a dangerous position. That's good play. I could see it coming from a mile away. Could see that coming from a mile away as well. McAlnay. Asante. List. Oh, this is lovely. McAlnay. Oh, it's going to go. It didn't go. We still managed to find Mr. List. We'll ping that one out wide. We've kept the ball in. Bolton now across field to Hunter. Into the back of the net for 1-0 just before the half-time whistle is blown. And lads, we're so happy to have him back from his injury. We are so happy to have him back from his injury. And he slots it home and makes it 1-0 Salford. And it's a lovely ball in by Bolton. Again, Bolton's got the ability to float them in. He really does. It's a perfect time to score. Makes the halftime team talk and the halftime melons and lemons that much easier. Do you have a lemon at halftime? I don't know. Whatever you have at halftime, it makes it a little bit easier knowing that you're going in with the advantage thanks to that Ashley Hunter goal. And hopefully a little bit more. We grew into the game. Scunthorpe started miles better than us. Really would like to see a bit more of Asante in this second half. He's getting the opportunity up top. But so far, I've just been a little bit underwhelmed, and it's quite ridiculous because, I mean, simply put, he's our best rated player, but he doesn't play like he's our best rated player. That's a very rough tackle, that. That is a very, very rough tackle. And I thought so. That's his second yellow. And the day just gets a little bit worse for Scunthorpe. But luckily, no injury, as they've made a sub. Luckily for us, Asante might be able to knock that on. I wanted it to kind of fall to anyone there but Asante. Like, he was not the player I wanted in that position. Oh, here comes Taft. Oh, that's lovely. Well weighted. Oh, Feeney puts it just beyond the post. Theoretically, at this stage, with a man extra, this game shouldn't be too difficult. But I do find on FIFA that when you got man extra, that doesn't necessarily resonate to the game being more easy. It's a lovely ball pinged over to Taft. Taft was actually the substitute. Oh my God, what a save from King. We're short on numbers, so it's not the ideal sub, but Bolton's going to come off for Watson. We've kind of hit just hold on stage of this game, if I'm being honest with you. It isn't where I want us to be as a team against Scunthorpe with a man less, but that's where we're at right now. Ball into Hunter. Sante's worked that wonderfully. Oh, List. Into McAlnay. Oh, that should have finished it. McAlnay puts it beyond the post. That should have been the back of the net, shouldn't it? McAlnay's been so good in front of goal this season, but that's just beyond the post as well. Watson now. Oh, look at the space for Asante. Turn, shoots. Oh, what a save from Collins. This wraps the game up. If we could just pick something up here, just finishes the game off, doesn't it? Can we win this header? It's all important. It's not that important, I guess. Asante there. I spot my man in the middle. He's crying out for it, was Kelly, but didn't work out for me in the end. McAlnay now. Get that out there to Kelly. Kelly then finds Asante, who will try and shoot it. We'll end up with the ball back with Kelly. He's going to give it to McAlnay. McAlnay's going to try and wing that one over to Collins, and the pressure has been from us towards the end of the game, and that's probably the most important thing. Is there going to be anything here from a corner? It's not a bad ball in. Again, I'm just struggling from corners at the moment. Asante's done brilliantly there. Asante again. There goes full-time whistle. It was not that comfortable. If we're being 100% honest, I didn't feel that comfortable in the game, but we did get the win, and as long as that keeps happening this season, we tried the new formation. The new formation worked. It gets bodies forward quicker. I need to get used to, again, trying to pump the ball up the pitch quicker, because I've noticed with the poor touches in this division, the quality of player, I can't just ping the ball up like I would do when we were at RB. But I feel good. We're top of the league now as well. Salford City top of the league. And minus that horrendous result against Colchester, we're in a pretty rich vein of form. So I have just made the biggest cardinal sin of YouTube and sitting down recording a video. I've just done that right now. And unfortunately, it was a banger of a game. We're going to go through the goals and what happened. I realised at half-time, so I could have brought you the second half, but it just didn't make sense. It would have eaten into the video, so I'll still just bring you another 2 games, right? Bristol Rovers, and I think it might be Hartlepool after. I can't remember who we've got after Bristol Rovers, but let's look at what happened. And do you know what's really upset me? What has really upset me? This Elliot List goal that I am going to show you. Put some respect on this man's name. I said some wild stuff as well when this went in. But this Elliot List goal is possibly the best goal we'll score in this series, and possibly the best goal I will score for a while. Look at that for Mr. Elliot List. And I didn't capture it live. My reaction was beautiful. I absolutely went through the roof, but I did not hit record, and I'm a moron. So we do win 4-1. Elliot List with that one. He was very close to his hat-trick. He managed to bag another goal here. To be honest with you, just in terms of going forward, we were very good in this game. I did make it kind of tight with Lewis Page scoring with a mistake here from Turnbull towards the end of the first half, when I realised I wasn't recording anymore. But we did manage to get a goal with Asante here. It was just nice footwork, nice passing from Elliot List to get the ball in a tap-in. And we also bagged the late goal for Ashley Hunter. But let's be honest, at this stage of the game, Harrogate had kind of given up. I talked a lot at the start of that game about stuff that was going on with the series and what we were going to do. So I'm going to have to do that again now. Basically, what I said is we had a really good comment saying that we should pick up players from the J-League. And I actually really like that. I like that transfer policy. I think it's a good idea, a lot like what Celtic have done in real life. And I mean, they're seeing rewards for it, right? A lot of the players they brought in are very hard workers and decent technical players. I really like the idea. The problem is we are League 2 Salford. And going from the J-League to League 2 Salford, a team that these guys probably don't even know about, and I do not blame them, it's just not going to happen. So maybe through the seasons, the J-League could be somewhere we look at. I would like some more of those obscure kind of signings. So if you've got players that you think we should be looking at, they're a little bit more obscure, a little bit more out of the box, then that makes sense. But I've kind of worked it as if we have a certain scouting budget, let's say, like Football Manager. And at the moment, we can only scout the home nations, really, for players, and a little bit of Europe, obviously, with the connections that, you know, the board probably have, but a little bit of Europe. But mainly, our main focus at the moment is in the home nations. We're actually only scouting the English leagues and the Scottish Premiership at the moment, with a roaming scout who can pick up players that you guys suggest as well at the same time. But I actually really like the J-League idea. We might use it in a different career mode. I would like to be a little bit more obscure with some of the career modes we do in terms of the rules we set ourselves, really the identity of how we build the club. That might not be the most fun for people watching, but for me as a player, I quite like stuff like that. Big issue with these games coming thick and fast, though, at the moment is that we are very tired. So we come up here against Bristol Rovers, hopefully trying to get ourselves a victory, coming off the back of 2 very good results, the Scunthorpe one and the Harrogate one, having to rotate. No Elliot List today in the squad. I want him fully fit for the final game of the episode. I still can't believe that I messed up with that Harrogate game. My apologies. Bristol Rovers was actually a team that was suggested at one stage. I don't mind the idea of Bristol Rovers. You know, they've had a few issues. I remember when they had Ricky Lambert. If any of you remember, before he got his big move to Liverpool, I think. I don't know if he went somewhere before Liverpool, but playing for Bristol Rovers, and he was just a free kick machine, to be honest with you. But I don't know. It just didn't seem right to put them in the list. There were a few teams that I looked at that fit the criteria a little bit better. But who knows? This road to glory has done really well so far. It certainly puts me in a position to want to do a road to glory again, potentially next year, as Eastman rattles the crossbar. I was so close to being 1-0 Salford. I'm loving the pressure that we're putting teams under. This formation is working absolute wonders. I have to be honest, I was a little bit nervous, which I shouldn't be, because the formation, we used it in the past 2 saves, and it's worked a treat. But I was a little bit nervous that this team we just weren't going to be able to play it. But so far, so good since we've swapped to the 3 at the back. Again, though, we've got decent fullbacks that I want to be utilised. So as soon as we do get our man back, he will be back in the team. But it's always good to have other formations. It was one thing that was recommended and requested as well before starting the save, that we did try and have a few different formations. Oh, that's poor. That is really poor. Loft. Oh, well saved, King. Just double check. Make sure we are recording, and we are. Let's whip a decent ball in. I've just not been good from corner. I just want to get back to where we were. I need Yorkiemann back, don't I? He was very, very good from the old corners. Oh, that's lovely from Morris. Oh, it wasn't the greatest of balls inside. What Bristol Rovers can do. I would love a function, right, in the game. I know this is bright thinking from me, and it's wild. It's wild. How can you suggest such things where when you play against a side... Oh, we nearly went 1-0 down. When you play against a side, it either automatically scouts their players, so you can go through and look at the team and see, like, the players. So automatically scouts them. Or you can click on the players and get a rough scout report while you're in the game. I would love that function. Like, that would be great. Because technically, if we've just played a team, I probably shouldn't have to scout the player. I am a little bit worried in this one that we'll struggle to score with no Elliott List, but I've spotted Henderson there over the top. That was nearly perfect to him. Yeah, without having List on the pitch, and like I say, he's not even on the bench. I want him fit for the next game. Oh, that's lovely. Go on then, Asante. Oh, that's a good tackle, though, to be fair. I'm just worried that we're not going to be able to find the back of the net in this one, and we might struggle. 0-0. Boring. So far going into the half against Harrogate. It was 2-1 at this stage, but it's fine. I'm not bitter. I'm not disappointed in myself. I'm not one bit whatsoever. This was always going to be a more difficult game. We knew that. We don't have List in this one. We don't have Bolton in this one. We knew with the starting 11 it was going to be more difficult. Asante is probably going to have to come off very early into the second half because of how tired he is. You know that means we're going to bring on Matt Smith, that's never good news for anyone, especially not the Salford fan base, unless it's in a sim. So, worrying times, but, you know, it is what it is. We're in the position. We're in. Asante there. Henderson. Henderson's got to read that better. Asante's ball there across was brilliant. Right in there, out to Asante. Asante whips it in. Henderson... didn't catch it very well, did he? Did not catch that very well at all. He has scored for us, so I have to have some faith that if Henderson's given the opportunity, he might score it. And seeing a man down on the ground there, very, very worrying, especially when you get this cutscene. That means he's going to be out for a while. Lower's been decent for me as well. Luckily, we've got Lund on the bench, and it's time. It's unfortunately time that we are bringing on Matt Smith as well at this stage. Can only hope that Lowe's out for, say, 3 months. Because usually when it's that animation, it's a long one. 3 months, hopefully. We pray. Fingers crossed. Have your fingers crossed, please, for me, lads. But in reality, that could be 7 months. And if he's out for 7 months, the fixture congestion, I need to hope that we get a good young centre mid coming through, or I can sign one, because I still think we need a striker. This is good. Watson's got it. Watson's still got it. They're trying to play the ball to Henderson. Oh, my God. They nearly messed up. Watson maybe should have shot. Oh, they've made a mistake. We've still got it, though. What can I do? I just need more options, don't I? Watson needed more options there. He's gone to Lund. Oh, fresh on the pitch. Lund will make it 1-0 Salford. And we do nick it. It's the substitution. Maybe the injury was needed. Maybe we needed that injury so he could come on and bang that goal in. No complaints here from me. That was a brilliant finish from Lund. And we needed it. Something had to come from somewhere, didn't it? And it needed to be a good goal. It needed to be just that moment of genius. Lund has come on the pitch and just shown that maybe we won't miss Low as much because we've got Lund. But the problem is we don't have that much quality of depth. We do have Kelly. Oh, my God. Loft nearly scoring an absolute worldie for Bristol. are deciding to press now. And it might work in their favour. It might also work in my favour. Lund, they're into Willock. And look at the bodies we've got. But Willock decides to try and backheel it because he wants to be fancy, doesn't he? He wants to be fancy. And that is exactly what I don't want from Willock there. I nearly said Joe Willock, but it's just not what we need. Not in that position. This is by no stretch of the imagination me punishing Willock. He's actually been extremely good today. Just that poor mistake there with a back heel. We're bringing on one of the youngsters. I think it's 56 rated. And I don't know. Watson will slip now into midfield. And Mai will play at cam. Go on then, Matty Smith. Show your strength. He does. Ping that one out wide. And then back across to Mai, who plays a decent ball, actually, to Matty Smith. I didn't expect that pass to go through, and I fumbled. I fumbled it, lads. Out to Mai. Mai back across to Smith. Turn, shoots. Oh, it's actually decent, that, wasn't it? Maybe we can get something out of Smith in some of these matches where there's a lot of games. Maybe we could just get something. A little bit of a toe poker there, but nearly caught the keeper off guard. There's one thing that we've got with Smith on the pitch, and that's a chance from corners. He's got to do better there, though, hasn't he? But it is a chance from corner. But that's going to be the full-time whistle. Salford, your winners here against Bristol. It was by no means pretty. We did know that going into it. Said it a few times there during the match. That it wasn't going to be pretty because of the changes we had to make. The Harrogate game was pretty. Yes, I didn't record it. So stop beating me up, please, in the comments section. It's not my fault. But we've got Oldham coming up next. So Oldham should be a rival, right? This should be a rivalry game here against Oldham for Salford. And let's see what this injury is going to be saying. 2 months. Don't get me wrong, this isn't great. But 2 months is far better than the 3 or 7 months with potential. Now, Vassell has given a new contract and he's still upset. So I don't really know what to do about Vassell. He might leave the club. Look, he's unhappy, but he's not with his contract. So he submitted a transfer request, but like he's getting happier. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he can come around or if once that happens, that's it. It's done and dusted. Now, Ian's instantly going to be signed up here. We're going to snap him up. And the other 2 boys, unfortunately, will be no. So let's take a look in the academy. See how we're getting on here. We've got that change there to centre mid. And really, I'm just looking at the baseline overall at the moment. Because if their baseline is decent, we'll give it an opportunity. Now, Hannah here doesn't look good, but should be better. And that's because I don't know what position he should play. He's got such a weird range of attributes. I think it's winger. I'm going to train him to play right mid and see if that improves him a little bit. The player we just signed up is physically okay, but can't defend. I mean, it's a stretch to say he's much. Maybe a striker. Maybe. Again, can't really shoot. He doesn't have that much about him. I'm going to retrain him to be a striker and see what we get. I think it'll be better than winger. At the moment, it's looking like Lejeune and Murphy are probably the go-tos. I need Lance Murphy's base potential to be higher. If I can get that to about 74, Murphy will do for the first couple of leagues, and you never know where dynamic potential will take it. Right, so we've got the players we needed back for this one. They're third in the league, so this really is a derby day kind of feel to it. This is a derby day game. This is a huge game at the top of the league as well. The main thing here is don't drop points. We're in a really good position at the minute to potentially keep fighting for the league, but there's so many games in this league season that you never know what's going to happen. So hopefully we can get one over our rivals today. I don't know if this is a bitter rivalry because it's probably very much a new rivalry, but we're going to treat it as quite a big one. I do like the vibe of having rivalries. Obviously, they always make the games more important, more impactful, and I'm not sure how many we're going to have through the leagues. But this is a good one, Oldham and Salford. I think this will be a good one. And then maybe, as the season's going on, it'll probably be Man United, right? And maybe even Man City to a degree. Both Manchester teams. Elliot List there, if he could whip it in. I want a bright start because we've got our main men out here today, apart from Kelly, unfortunately. But it's a good opportunity for Kelly. 62 rated. He's no slouch, to be fair. And I haven't really given him any kind of look in, which is a little bit unfair. So let's see how he gets on in this one. This is really well worked here by Oldham. That's a worry. These teams that are fighting at the top of the league, they're there for a reason. Best believe that. They're there for a reason. Get to that, King. Ooh, what a block. Well in early on. Opening 15 minutes or so, though. Not really much to write home about, because that's an awful ball in. I'm no good at them ones. Just absolutely no good. This is good, though. This is absolutely brilliant. Elliot List. Couldn't find the back of the net there. It wasn't his favoured foot, so I'm going to put it on that. He scored a screamer earlier. You just didn't get to see it. Well, you did. At least I could show you it. Imagine if it had happened and there was zero footage for me to show. At least you could see how good of a goal we scored. Now, Oldham are quite a bit back, but they are third, which is promotion. So I kind of would like to see them get promoted because then we have a rival in League One instantly. But they will be pushing to try and make sure they stay third here because that's going to be super important for them. We're not playing too well here, are we? To be honest, it's not really been a great game. Best game's been the Harrogate one. I'm not going to mention it too much. I'm just a little bit disappointed in myself, if I'm being honest with you, that I didn't get to show you that game. Mainly because of the goal that we scored, but just a little bit devastated. I've tried to stay as calm as possible during this episode as to not absolutely destroy my voice. But there's moments like that where Elliot List scores that kind of goal that can you really expect someone not to lose their mind? And you guys didn't even get to see it. It goes to halftime whistle, and very much like rivalry games, it's been very much a stalemate. It's been very much a stalemate. We can't get our best players in good positions, and Oldham have had a couple of moments through on goal, but we've been really tight defensively, very compact. Well, we can all only hope, can't we, that the second half is a little bit better. But just like the Rovers game, if we could nick a goal, I would be really happy, and I feel a lot more confident that we can do it with the players that we've got on the pitch at the moment. But I am also very cautious of Oldham. They had a few moments there in the first half, oh my god, where they worried me, and they've just started this half worrying me as well. I don't know if King actually got a touch to that. Surely he does, right? No, it's over. Come Oldham again, and I feel like that's all I've said so far in this second half. All I've said so far in this second half, and there we go. It was coming. I've got to be honest with you. It was coming. We haven't really been good enough. I'm not going to bring off Bolton yet. We haven't really contributed anything to this game. And it did feel like it was only a matter of time. They started the second half so brightly as well. And it's just well worked, isn't it? It's just really well worked. And the keeper's positioning is poor at that moment. He's all over the shop in the net. Now, the question is, we've got the quality on the pitch. We've got the quality on the pitch to get back into this game. It's been all Oldham this second half. I don't really know what's going on with us, but they've taken over and they've scored their second. And there we go, 2-0 Oldham, and I think that's game done and dusted. They've been better. To simply put as that, we actually give the ball away here as well. Bolton gives it away, but defensively it's a bit of a scramble. The goalkeeper's positioning again here is kind of questionable, but it's a rocket into the back of the net, but straight down the middle of the goal. I think keeper needs to do better, but I'm not going to make excuses. We've just not been good enough. Can't win them all, I guess. I was just excited. Rivalry game, having the main team back, but that's happened a lot. We've given the ball away a lot. I wonder if we can check that stat, but we might fall apart here because it feels like that is the way the game is going to go. Well, I won't take anything away from a team that's earned their victory, and in the rivalry game here at home as well, so it hurts that little bit more. Oldham, miles the better team. Miles the better team. Asante will be disappointed with his performance because he probably had the biggest opportunity to have an impact on it, but they deserved it. They did deserve it. It was a tight game, it was, but that second half was where the game was going to be won because the first half was just a dud. And they started that second half a million times faster than us. They came out of the locker room just ready to go, Rayleigh. Just ready to go. Now, this is the Rayleigh bad news. Called it. Bruce shoulder, 5 days. Absolutely nailed that. Luckily, McAlnay won't be out for too long. Now, we will have an action-packed episode next time out as we do December and then go into January. We do have a little bit of cash to spend, 1.27 million, but not really much on the wages, so some of that will have to go into the wages. And we need to spend it. The question is where do we spend it? What position do we spend it on? I kind of still think we need another striker, but maybe not. We are sitting second in the league after 19 games played, and I am happy with that. As long as we finish top 3 again, lads, remember, we go up. So, yeah, it'd be nice to win the league, but top 3 is what matters. We've had some painful losses now, though. The Colchester won the worst, but you never want to lose against your rivals. That was really frustrating, but that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Again, I really do appreciate the support, and I do appreciate, because I know you guys already will be understanding with the situation that we've got at the moment with the tonsils and stuff, and how the content's not coming out daily like I wish it was doing, but just some days at the moment it hurts that much that I just can't, I just genuinely just can't record. And I know the recording won't be good because there's one thing I like to think about the recordings when we do them is the energy is there for me, and that's genuinely because I'm having a good time, especially in the games, and I can't give that same energy when my throat's the way it is. currently. So I'm going to try and still put the videos out as regularly as possible and record a few more like this, where I try and be a little bit more reserved with the excitement. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, lads, appreciate you. I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.